This training program is about the experiential learning. What is experiential learning? Basically, it's learning by doing. When nowadays, even in KG sections, people have started this learning method by doing it. And the same is applicable for the senior school students also. How? We will see that. So basically, experiential learning is the stages of its cycle. We are going to do this about cycle and methods, possible methods. We are going to discuss this. Now, what is experiential learning? Simple words. Experiential learning is the process of learning by doing. By engaging students in hands-on experiences and reflection, they are better able to connect theories and knowledge learned in the classroom to real-world situations. Like people talk about multiple intelligences, there are 7 types of MI if I'm not wrong. Then we talk about artificial intelligences. So, when you talk about multiple intelligences, in this only learning by doing. Some people can learn by hearing, some people learn by seeing. So, what is this hands-on experiences? We do experiments in the class also to show them how to do it. Sometimes we use audio classes so they learn from them, and we try to find out the basic nature of the child. It's very difficult in a class of 40-50 to find out, but yes, if we can segregate the class and find out how to teach them so that understand better, it is this way, experiential learning. Next. The process of learning and not on the product. So the emphasis of experiential learning is basically we learn the process, how to do it, not the product. Sometimes what happens, the end product might not be achieved. But since the journey we take to complete that work, children learn a lot about that also. Next, benefits. So benefits is it helps children to pursue something of their own. Bio teachers take the children outside, find out leaves of different types, find out stones, clays, all those things. And some children who are not interested in writing, they are the one who are most eager to do all those things. They might not be knowing the name of the leaf also, but they will bring 5 different leaves, ma'am, this, and then you can explain and they learn. Second is they learn about failures and how to deal with it. Now this failures, this is very important. Everything in life is not about success. Failures are very important in life, and we should all teach our children also to deal with failures. That's more important. Success people can handle. This is difficult to handle. Experiential learning is about collaboration. Obviously teamwork. When we go out, project work, anything. Eco club. It's not only a club, it also teaches us a lot of things. Helps them express difficulties. Yes, when you go for experiential learning, even in the class, you bring apparatus from the lab and keep it in the class. Ask the children to do, half of them will tell the names, half one will start taking interest in the chemicals. Some people will be also interested in performing it, helping the teacher. Everybody will get involved. But the same thing, if you are trying to draw on the board and explain the children, maybe half the class is not even listening to you. Next, the proponent. Experiential learning is equivalent to personal change and growth. Even as teachers, I don't know, in my school days, we hardly had this concept of experience. We only had that lecture method. Teachers came, explained, they hardly took it. I don't remember also if they had taken us out for something. Feels that all human beings have a natural propensity to learn. The role of the teacher is to facilitate such learning. This Carl Rogers says this, that the role of the teacher is to facilitate. I remember that, I'm forgetting the name, Bengali philosopher. He said that we cannot teach anyone in the world. We can only take out the component which the person has had. If he doesn't have, the child doesn't have anything, you don't have the talent to teach him. He or she must have a quality, and what does the teacher do? The teacher only helps to bring out that quality of the child. He can be a sports person, he can be an orator. People are so good in English, so good in English, and still parents want to make them engineers. They don't think of other opportunities also. That's one issue. Some is very good in Hindi, good orator. Wherever they go, people praise him. Still the parents want him to make an engineer. They think that there is no career in language. That is also very, very important to find out where the career lies. We have one very good example of Nair sir, if you know this. Nair sir wanted his son to become a doctor, so he went to Akash classes. 2 years got wasted. Then he took admission in biotech in Christ Church College, Bangalore. 1 year he dropped out. And now he's doing English honors and the whole Bangalore knows him now. He goes from one college to another college and is doing anchoring and speeches and oration, and students of that batch in all the colleges of Bangalore knows who that boy is. And Nair sir also very proudly says that abhi to sir, everybody talks about him, sab jante college mein sab, imagine medical, biotech, and then 3 years of waste, and then English honors, and then you are successful also. Next, the cycle. Now there are a lot of ways in cycle. This is one of the ways. There is one cycle that I call it generally PDCA cycle, which this is not plan, do, and then take action. So let's say start from plans are made to use learning in new situations, then experiencing it, an activity occurs, reactions and observations are shared. Now this, don't get angry, because you might get all sorts of reactions. Children, you know, sometimes they act very God knows in what way they can react and act, and they can come up with new ideas. In the beginning it might look foolish, but then we talk, and then patterns and dynamics are determined, analyzed, we infer, and principles are arrived. So basically this is one cycle which is shown. You can have your own cycle also. We have a fishbone diagram which says the same thing. We have a PDCA cycle which says the same thing. This is one of the cycles which you can use for experiential learning. You should have a written thing, how to do all those things and go through. Then only you will get to a result. ये नहीं कि one particular day you come to a class, today we are going to the field. बच्चे को पता ही नहीं. You tell them Tuesday second period we are going to the field and we are going to do this. See how excited the children will come from home only. Most probably they will bring some accessories also, which will help the teacher also to find out why we are going to the field. They should know the topic, they should know the timing. Then you will get a good result. And that is why most probably lesson planning is done. Next, the methods. These are some of the methods we can use. English, we can use role playing. Role playing, whenever I say role playing, I remember one 10-12 years back, we had one drama. We were giving 5 marks to children for a role play. One boy of class 7A, he became a dead body. And throughout the play, he was a dead body covered with white bed sheet. And then I was giving marks, dialogue, this, that, clothes. There were 5. And he said, sir, mere ko kitna mila? Now I did not know what to give to that. I said, what are you doing? How can I give you marks? For 5 minutes he was like lying down. So that was one thing, role playing, model building, surveys, field observations. Field observations and all doesn't seem very practical in schools, because you have to have a plan, you have to have a school bus, all those things. So we generally go around here only. Storytelling, games, stimulations, conducting experiments, narratives, field trips. Field trips, I don't know, only we go to Dalma, I suppose. But if we go to Dalma, and can we add some values to that Dalma trip with some education part of it, then it can become a little part of experiential learning. Otherwise we only go, there is one Ganesh ji in the middle, we worship over there, then we climb, we see some monkeys and all, and we come back.
It is a chapter of physical education, sir. Leadership and adventures.
We can do that. On these field trips or even अभी तो सब पिकनिक मना है।
वो फिर प्रेयर में बोलते भी थे पूरा एजुकेशनल ट्रिप
So
पे
we
जाते थे
should do that. All good things should be done, repeated. There's no issue.
ये देखिए
Okay, field trips.
ये जाते थे हम लोग।
RKG section.
ये
I
हम जाते
remember
थे।
we used to go to zoo. and they used to see all those animals. And because of Corona, there is a break, but we can start.
Yes, sir.
After the nowadays, they have made a different entrance for the zoo, which is on the Marine Drive. A beautiful entrance they have made. Now you don't have to inaugurated. People are going. That is how I came to know. Somebody put up a status or something like that. The new entrance of zoological garden. Purpose of field trip. The purpose of the trip is usually observation for education, non-experimental research. Non-experimental research, which is almost practical, verbal. You touch, you feel, you speak, you say, you identify. Or to provide students with experiences outside their everyday activities. Many times it happens students get bored also. You can also do something, you can plan in maths, how can you add subtraction to a child. You can bring some changes from your side only and give something to a boy and say, sell this pencil for 15 rupees. Suppose I have 50 rupees, I go to that small boy, he will deduct 15 rupees and return 35 rupees to me. So the teacher should have 50 rupees, 15 rupees and 35 rupees. Class में करके देखिए, I think it's very interesting. Many children who cannot subtract properly, they will return the money properly.
Instead of money, they can use some, peas also.
हाँ, peas, beans.
वो money पे बड़ा problem हो जाएगा.
Peas, beans also we can use. See, I'll tell you why. ये जितना vegetable vendors you see in the market, most of them cannot write on papers with pen, but they will never return you less or more. They are very good in calculation. Ask them 100 रुपया में 80 रुपया हिसाब नहीं, वो नहीं करेगा. 20 रुपया लौटाना है, they know it. They cannot write, but they are very good at maths. So that is why many children also, they know money, but although the subtraction can be wrong, but returning they can be right also. Now these are the guidelines. First, see, ma'am said like when they used to go for trekking, they used to come and submit a report. But for the last 2 years, we are going like a picnic only. We go there, enjoy, come back home, and there is no reporting. So actually, if you don't submit a report, there is no learning. Every school takes educational tour. They say educational tour to Darjeeling. Now, can anybody tell me, Shimla, Manali, Kulu, what educational trip this is? These are all honeymoon trips. They are not educational trips. For educational trips, you have to choose where children can learn something. You take a child to a museum. कहाँ सर घुसा दिए कुछ तो मारा last. They talk like this. They talk like this. I have taken children to Indian Museum. Calcutta वाला जो है ना.
Science city
Science City, Calcutta. See the techniques.
Even when you visited Darjeeling, there Matigara is there. There are also wonderful science cities.
Kolkata Science City is there. Birla Planetarium is there. Monuments are there. One full museum. It will take 3-4 hours.
Indian Forest Research Institute is there.
तो हम लोग कुछ नहीं करते, हम चाय बागान में घूम रहे हैं ना, तो वो भी पूछते नहीं है कि कैसे प्लांटेशन होता है, क्या होता है. कि writer I also went to Bombay and Goa excursion from my school side. But believe me, when I came back, my principal wanted the copy.
हाँ सर, स्कूल ऑफ होप गए थे हम लोग एमएड से, पूरा लिख के इतना बड़ा जायजा ब्यौरा देना पड़ा.
कॉपी जमा करना पड़ा. हम तो ये भी रात को ट्रेन इलाहाबाद स्टेशन पे रुकी थी, लिखे हैं. तो ये इंटरैक्ट क्लब, अभी सर तो बोले सब बदलेगा, पता नहीं क्या होगा. इंटरैक्ट क्लब, प्लान समथिंग.
नहीं, 1 मिनट.
नो प्रॉब्लम. ये भी ट्रेनिंग है. Narrative essays are told from a defined point of view. Often the authors show there is feeling and specific and often sensory details provided to get the reader involved in the elements and sequence of the story. Now this is about literature. What are the experiential learning when you go through literature? And literature people can take the children anywhere they feel like, on any excursion in the classroom. They will be sitting in the class, but they will experience all the world that you want them to experience. अब घुमा के ले आओ पूरी दुनिया उनको, You can talk about Kashmir, they can visualize Kashmir. It depends on you, how good you are describing it. All literature teachers, even if you are not a literature teacher and you are good at oration, you can do this. There is no issue. But even geography teachers,
So, but sir, they won't experience now when they will go and they will do of their own. They
that
will-
is why that